All right, so here we go. This is Dave Kelm. Headed to work on Wednesday. What is it, the 8th? Yeah, January 8th. 5 or so minutes of whatever comes to mind. And talked to a few people last night. Didn't do a video yesterday. Got too busy. And then tried to do one after work. It was too dark. It looked like shit, so didn't do it. So you didn't get one yesterday. Too bad. However, a few people I saw last night at an event had some great ideas for show names. I'll be honest with you, a little surprised how many people actually mentioned that they watched the videos, which I'm very happy about. So thank you very much. If you want, and you want to subscribe on YouTube, the YouTube channel I think is called This is Dave Kelm now. I think we changed that. That's me. Anyway, so when you're thinking about podcast names, and God knows we all are, right? Because we're all wanting to do a podcast and just vomit our life onto the internet for posterity, I guess, or our legacy or something, because we're all a bunch of egotists at this point. When you're thinking about it, it's similar in nature to, you know, when you're starting to think about what you're going to name your garage band. Because even though I'm 51, I always think that there's still time to have a garage band, you know, to take up an instrument and get some guys together and drink some beers and play music in the garage. Woo! You know, so you're always coming up with a garage band name, even if it's just in your head. Anyway, so some people I know watch local TV news at 10 o'clock. Never been really one of those people. You know, I sort of follow the news all day and don't really need to watch the TV news at night, especially local TV news. I'm sure they do a fine job. Can't stand it. Anyway, so I tend to do a couple things. Either read, and I'm reading a pretty interesting book right now. I unfortunately can't remember the name, but I'll bring that up later. Or watch the end of shitty movies. It drives Michelle, my wife, nuts that I will just jump into a movie with like 37 minutes left and watch the end and for no reason other than the fact that I've never seen the movie, and so I might as well watch the end of it, because that way at least I've got that under my belt. I don't know, it's strange. Or we'll watch, if it's on, Good Eats with Alton Brown. We've watched Alton Brown pretty much his entire career, and that probably makes us Food Network geeks, but who cares? He's hilarious, and I think he does a great job, and so we'll watch that. Anyway, long story, to get to the point that the other night he was doing holiday cocktails, sort of low alcohol holiday cocktails that maybe you really haven't heard of previously. One of them is called a milk punch. Yeah, milk punch. Those two words should not go together. And that sort of made me think, it's not a bad idea for a show name. Milk Punch with Dave Kelm. Milk Punch. It's kind of two weird words put together for the purposes of just coming up with sort of a shocking podcast name. The interesting thing about this Milk Punch is it's a bazillion ingredients to begin with, but one of the most heart-wrenching things about it is you put these two elements together to force the milk to curdle. Yeah. Ugh. And you want the milk to curdle, and those curds separate out impurities and the opaqueness of the cocktail. And what you end up with is this, what looked like an unbelievably light, crisp, crystal clear cocktail that ended up being, like a perfect holiday cocktail. But it was still called Milk Punch. And it was just, oh, God. some of the other funny thoughts, and I thank everybody for watching the videos. I'm a little surprised that people are watching the videos, but one of them was I may or may not have been roofied with Dave Kelm. That's from a previous video. Anyway, this was a long story to get to the fact that I still don't know if this thing needs a name. Maybe it doesn't. Maybe this is Dave Kelm is enough. This week we are going to talk a little bit more. I've sort of started to lay out some thoughts on what I'm going to talk about other than just getting in the car and talking, which seems to be okay so far. But I do want to talk a little bit more about estate planning, because I really am passionate about helping people put some things in order. And it doesn't need to be a big, giant, fancy estate plan with a bunch of trusts and all kinds of things. It can be. Maybe you need that, and that's something that we'll touch on as well. But I really am adamant that people, especially young people, young couples, young single people, put things in order, because you never know what's going to happen. So we're going to talk some more about that this coming week. Also, though, want to chat a little bit about how all of this podcasting stuff works, because once you start sort of doing some research on, hey, I'm going to do a podcast, and oh, this won't be fun, and you don't have a staff and you don't have any production value, it's funny what people expect. You know, when people, so I read this article, and I'll just get into it for 2 seconds, and I know I've gone long already. What am I at? Oh, gosh, I'm at 7 minutes. Yikes. But I just read an article last night at home about it's so easy to set up a podcast, and then this article is like 27 pages long. And you have to record an intro jingle, and you have to record an outgoing jingle, and you have to have your graphics just exactly perfect, and you have to have all this stuff. And I'm like, what if you just got a car and a cell phone and that's all you're fucking doing? Anyway, this is Dave Kelm on YouTube. I'm going to throw this up on LinkedIn and my Facebook and probably Twitter and Instagram. And right now, unless someone convinces me that I really do need to look at TikTok, I'm going to avoid that because of the Chinese. So, see ya.